Our Celeste Springer took them to the district and is on your side getting you answers.
Starting next week, middle schoolers in Columbia County are about to be phased into full face-to-face instruction, and some changes are coming for high schoolers as well, as some of them will begin full face-to-face instruction every single Friday. We asked you what questions you had about all this and came straight to the board to get you answers. Columbia County high schoolers on the hybrid schedule with a C in one or more classes will return to face-to-face instruction on Fridays starting October 23rd. The option extends to high schoolers with A's and B's if they so choose.
Even if their grades are good, they want to see their friends, the whole socio-emotional aspect.
Some parents wondered if their student could leave after specific classes.
Students with a C or lower, and even in one class, they must come for the entire day, whether they're in group A or B.
And for all students going on Fridays, it's a semester-long commitment.
What we would hate to happen is if a student had a C, and in a couple weeks they pulled it up to an 80, which is a B, and then they stopped coming and slipped back down.
Other parents wondered if A-B days would still be alternating.
We stuck to the current A-B schedule. So many of our parents had already lined up doctor's appointments and other things on that A-B schedule. We really didn't want to add a whole nother change to that.
And some were confused if new material will be presented on Fridays.
New material is expected to be taught on this Friday, so if you're in person, you're not just getting a rehash of what's happened earlier in the week.
And that goes for students at home too.
Whatever's taught in person will also be taught for the people not attending virtually. So it's the same content, it's just going to be delivered two different ways.
Celeste Springer, on your side.
Now, if your student makes A's and B's, but they still want to go to school on Fridays, you have to let the district know that by next Wednesday. Right now, the school board is meeting to organize a group to select the next superintendent. They'll be working to fill that position for next school year, so we'll keep you posted on that. Taking a look outside this afternoon. If you haven't, definitely head online. National weekly jobless claims climbing again. The Department of Labor says Americans filed another 898,000 first-time jobless claims last week. That's 53,000 more than the week before. Weekly jobless claims peaked in late March at 6.9 million. The job market started to improve after that, but it slowed dramatically and then went into reverse last week. A second coronavirus vaccine approved in Russia after some early-stage studies. Russia says it's been tested on about 100 people over the course of 2 months, and they'll continue with more large-scale tests on tens of thousands of volunteers. A similar move prompted widespread criticism from scientists around the world a couple of months ago. Meanwhile, Russia reported a single-day record in coronavirus deaths, 286 in the last 24 hours. If you have a Barnes & Noble account, check your email. Hackers exposed customer information. You should have gotten an email last night or this morning from the company if this affected you, but they say financial information was not exposed, but transaction histories may have been. Things like purchase information related to books or other products you might buy. So I guess those hackers know I bought the last Twilight book, so that's a little embarrassing. All right, making a splash 400 feet underground. Find out what these divers are celebrating in just a minute.
All right, as we continue on through the night, tonight temperatures will be dropping down into the mid-60s, then we're back to the 70s and 80s through the day tomorrow. That full forecast coming up.
Sounds like probably an understatement. Yeesh. The holiday shopping season off to an early start with Amazon Prime Days, and scammers are going to be busy over the next couple of days, posing as those online retailers and also delivery companies. Our tech reporter Jamie Tucker has the latest.
Phishing scams are bad year-round, but they're even worse after a big shopping event online, such as Amazon Prime Day. And since many of us are still working from home, these phishing scams are dangerous, not just to you, but the company you work for. Here's the scam. You get an email saying your package or order has been delayed, and to find out why or to track it, open the email and click a link. Now, it doesn't take you to the FedEx, UPS, or Postal Service websites, but instead it installs malware on your computer. Malware that can sit silent for days before installing programs and stealing information, or the malware locks your computer and demands payment to get everything back. Ransomware attacks have hit hospitals and governments hard during the pandemic. Puerto Rico's government actually paid out over $2.5 million to scammers, likely because one of its employees clicked a link in an email. The FTC reports an increase in phishing text messages, again telling people their package is delayed or that a lost package was discovered. Cybersecurity firm Digital Shadows investigated this one and found it took the person to a page that looked similar to the USPS, offering a free gift for answering a survey, then asking for their name and address and then a credit card number. Phishing schemes like this have been around for a long time, primarily because they're easy and cheap for the scammers to carry out, and they're successful. Remember, never click on a link in an unsolicited email or text message. If you need to track the package, go to the retailer's website. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
They've gotten good too. Some of those can be so convincing. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center says it receives about 1,300 complaints a day about scams like this. And last year, people and businesses falling for these schemes lost more than $3.5 billion. So the scammers are getting paid. Let's not line their pockets anymore. We're well into October. This fall has hardly brought along colder weather. In fact, scorching temperatures around the world made this September the hottest on record, and that's since 1880. Scientists say high temperatures this year played a major role in disasters from fires in California to floods in Asia. And around here this October, we've been very warm, Anthony.
Yeah, NOAA just released their forecast for this winter, Lauren. We're actually going to be expected to stay on the warmer side as well. And that may be good or bad, but we are going to be seeing some warmer temperatures to continue on as we go through the next couple of months. Some changes, though, as we go through this weekend. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Temperatures right now on the warmer side into the mid-80s, right around 86 degrees right now. We are noticing temperatures continuing to stay into the 80s. We're going to be keeping an eye on the radar over the next couple of hours as well. A couple isolated showers out there as we go through places in Wilkes County and going up through just around Washington there as well. Southern sections of the region seeing some isolated showers. These will continue moving to the northeast, places like Sylvania, Allendale, and Bamberg. Eventually Wilson seeing a couple sprinkles, maybe even a heavier downpour out there as well. Current temperatures around the CS rate into the mid-80s, right around 86 degrees here in Augusta, 85 at SRS. We'll notice some cooler temperatures rather as we continue on through the rest of this evening. Winds right now are anywhere from calm to about 6 miles per hour here in Augusta. These will all be calming down as we go through the rest of this evening. And as we continue on through this evening, any outdoor plans, keep an eye to the skies for those isolated showers. We're going to notice those temperatures cooling off into the low 70s as we get through right around 8 o'clock with partly cloudy conditions out there. Low temperatures tonight right around 64 degrees here in Augusta. We're going to keep an eye on the fog potential as we go through early tomorrow morning. Could be talking about some dense fog again as we go through the Savannah River Valley and even through some other areas as well. So keep an eye on the fog and make sure you're giving yourself just a little bit more travel time as you go through early tomorrow morning. Rain chances are slim as we go through early Friday morning. Then we're going to be staying nice and dry through this weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday, 0% chance at some rain. That's going to stay true as we go through most of next week as well. But if you're getting on the bus tomorrow morning, we'll see temperatures right around 65 degrees, partly sunny conditions. And as you're coming home from school, temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. As we go through hour by hour the rest of this evening through the day, tomorrow we'll see mostly sunny skies. The cold front pushes on through as we go through tomorrow afternoon, but no rain out of that system. And we're going to be staying dry again through this weekend as well. Lots of sunshine to be expected, and those dew points are also going to be falling. As we go through the afternoon Friday, we'll see the dew points falling into the 40s, eventually into the 30s as we go through your Saturday afternoon, so no humidity to speak of as we go through this weekend. So definitely take advantage of it and get outside if you can. Dew points on Sunday still in the 50s, so another great day to be out there. We're going to keep an eye on the tropics over the next 5 days. 2 areas of developments that we're going to be keeping an eye on, both with a 20% chance of formation for our next tropical system. Now, the long-range models like to play a couple of storms that come off of this, so we're going to keep an eye on it for you over the next couple of days. Over the next 7 for us here in Augusta and the CSRA, temperatures on the cooler side, feeling like fall for this weekend, 71 degrees as we go about your Saturday. A little bit warmer on Sunday, right around 76, but still well below average for this time of year. Then we're going to be back to the upper 70s as well as the low 80s as we go through Monday, Tuesday, and most of next week as well, with partly to mostly sunny skies expected. A little bit cooler for this weekend. Temperatures right around 48 degrees and 45 degrees as we go through Sunday morning, guys.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Would you settle for a robot flipper at SeaWorld? What if he's really convincing? I'll tell you whether this one is the real one or the fake one coming up.
In the James Brown estate.
New at 6 o'clock, we're getting our first look at the woman accused in a fatal hit and run in Aiken County. We're told 32-year-old Mary Chandler turned herself in to police earlier today. She was in court just a few hours ago, and her bond... We're getting some breaking news just into the newsroom. The final ruling in the James Brown estate battle has come from the South Carolina Supreme Court, so we're just hearing about all this. Back in June, the court ruled a woman who has claimed to be Brown's wife, Tommy Ray Heine, was not actually his wife and was married to someone else.
Yeah, she filed an appeal asking for a reconsideration, and the South Carolina Supreme Court denied the request. A statement from the family says The heirs to James Brown's estate will be in court at the end of the month to sort out additional battles with the estate's current trustee, but a long legal battle seems to be coming to an end in the James Brown estate.
New at 6 o'clock, we're getting our first look at the woman accused in a fatal hit and run in Aiken County. We're told 32-year-old Mary Chandler turned herself in to police earlier today. She was in court just a few hours ago, and her bond is set at $50,000. She's facing hit and run and driving under suspension charges. Now, this is all in connection to the death of 48-year-old Irma Soto. She was a wife, a mother, recently retired. She was hit and killed on the side of Edgefield Highway last Friday night. She says she and her husband were picking something up off the road when she was hit and killed.
Also this evening, it is a sign of the times and the norm these days. Businesses and restaurants are requiring us to wear a mask. It's something not everyone takes kindly to, and that creates challenges for businesses. Brady's traveling live in North Augusta for us, where some business owners say angry customers are starting to take a toll.
Yeah, Richard, here at Antonio's, as you can see, there's a line backed up here. People, of course, wearing their masks. And I'm going to take a step to the side here. Apologize. And we got Spider-Man on TV as well. But they say one of their employees is actually quitting because they're tired of telling people to put on a mask when they come in the door and being harassed.
Antonio's didn't make the rules, they're just following them.
But what my staff up front is experiencing is, people who don't believe that there's a virus, who thinks it's all political, who don't want to wear face masks.
Donna Gentile and her husband own Antonio's Italian Eatery. They've stayed open the whole pandemic because of community support, but now they're asking the community for kindness after an employee said they were tired of being argued with over masks.
Unfortunately, sometimes being verbally chastised because they don't believe in wearing a mask, it's starting to take a toll on them.
We asked on Facebook how customers reacted across our area. The responses ranged from some being cussed out to most everyone following the rules. I called 10 different businesses, and some said there's been no issues, others said there's often an attitude.
No issues at all. Actually, the opposite. A lot of people, when they come in, they notice that we're following CDC guidelines. We have the sneeze guards.
Jeremy Miller at Southern Salad in Augusta says he approaches people politely. With this, kindness has to go both ways.
I just want them to treat our staff with kindness. They have enough stress all day working in a restaurant.
Now, on the Georgia and South Carolina side, masks are required in most places, but you only have to wear it if you aren't sitting at a table to have dinner.
And just for the record, Spider-Man also in compliance. And be kind to your servers because, Brady, we know they don't make the rules. Thanks for the live update there.
Some good news for drivers as we take a live look over the gateway. Middle schoolers in Columbia County will soon be back in the classroom 5 days a week. Sixth graders heading back for full face-to-face instruction starting Monday. Not only is it a schedule change for students, but with more kids in the classroom, rules on face masks could be a bit stricter too. Here's what school leaders said when we asked if students would be required to wear a mask.
From day one, we've said if distancing cannot be accomplished, face coverings are expected to be worn, and we will stick to that. In some of our classes, for example, in middle school that may have 25, 26, 27 students in there, there is no way in most normal classrooms to space 6 feet apart. So they will not be distanced, and we will expect them to wear face coverings.
Meanwhile, with Dr. Sandra Caraway retiring at the end of the school year, the search for a new county superintendent begins. The board held a special meeting earlier today to organize a superintendent search committee. They say they hope to name Caraway's replacement in January.
Well, the NFL's COVID wave hits closer to home as the Falcons shut down their practice facility. It's also impacting the Panthers.